right? I just got back from Indianapolis for a day. Heidi went to Indianapolis for a day.
2 RVs passing in the night.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in an RV, but Heidi is going to that Fever game tonight. Indiana Fever is playing their first playoff game ever. Is it a new team? Minus Caitlin Clark, minus Sophie Cunningham. So it'll be interesting.
Sophie won't be back. I think there's still hope that Caitlin will be back at some point.
Like if they can get through the playoffs and
no, I mean in this year's playoffs.
Yeah, in this series.
Or is she done
maybe.
too?
I thought she was done. I thought
maybe so.
They mothballed her.
That's smart, probably.
But we've got a full show for you. Heidi will be back tomorrow, I'm sure, to regale us with stories. I've got indie stories myself, but we'll get into those here in just a second.
I didn't know we were going to do indie stories.
You've been going to
since the late '80s.
Call Butler games, right? Well, SLU Butler games.
Missouri Valley Conference, all kinds of stuff.
There is a lot of stuff. You know what I saw? Driving in, and then as I'm walking down the street, downtown Indianapolis, the Steak and Shake headquarters.
Oh. I forgot about that.
And like I'm looking in the windows to see if, they've got like a,
Was it inside? Inside it must be right?
But there was take home a sack?
No take home a sack.
There was no restaurant. They should have at least put a restaurant on the ground floor,
or
right?
a faux restaurant, something to give us.
Get some
statue of a guy with the tong, with the big fork and the spatula.
Yeah, the big fork.
Flip them.
Nothing. None of that. See, Bob, if we were running
chili
the world.
mac. Give me some chili mac.
Oh, I love a good chili mac. All right, so quick detour. I know we just started, but I'm going to take a quick detour. We went to France. I know. I always bring it up any chance I get.
Oh, you're just doing it because I've never been.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Like the rest of my family.
You should go sometime.
Yeah, okay.
Call Altair Travel and Cruises. Cannes, where they have the movie thing.
I believe it's pronounced Cannes.
Cannes. There's a Steak and Shake there.
Get out.
Right on the beach.
In Cannes?
Yes. But it's like
I'm going to need to see photographic evidence.
I've got it. It's just burgers and shakes, kind of like a Shake Shack would be, but it's Steak and Shake branded.
Okay.
So
good for them.
They've got one in Cannes, but they don't have any here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, we have slipped.
What do we have? What do we have here? Which one's still open?
The Lindenwood Steak and Shake is still open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few around.
The Webster one on Watson,
I think
which
the one
is
on
really
Hampton
good.
is supposedly still open.
Oh my
although
gosh!
I think based on the service time,
they
might as well be closed.
I hate to say it. Are these things individually owned? I hate to badmouth anybody.
I don't care.
I sense some bitterness, Connor.
This was ridiculous. I was in the drive-through line for like 45 minutes.
Oh, you can't go to drive-through.
And I was the only car.
Yeah,
I was
you kind of have to go in.
Yeah.
But the Lindenwood, the Youngerman Steak and Shake is still open as far as I know.
Okay.
But they didn't have chili mac at the one in France. They didn't have chili.
Because you looked.
Period. Yeah. It was just kind of like
I guess that's a truly American deal, isn't it?
It was a Shake Shack clone.
You're in France. You got all these options. So, of course, you go to the Steak and Shake.
Well, sometimes you want a little taste of home.
No.
Although, point of parliamentary procedure here.
Yes, sir.
Steak and Shake was decades before Shake Shack.
True. But Shake Shack was a complete ripoff of Steak and Shake.
But you said, anyway, and we love our friends at Shake Shack.
Shake Shack, they have Shake Shacks in Dubai and Istanbul and all across the world. And
they're also much better than Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake? You find a good Steak and Shake. Like we live in Columbia.
Where do you find those?
I think that's Connor's point. The salient point is they're not there. And I would tell you that classic Steak and Shake, when would that have been? I don't know, 50s, 60s, 70s. Classic is better than Shake Shack. But to Connor's point, does that classic Steak and Shake exist anymore? And I would tell you no.
All right. Number one, Shake Shack doesn't have chili mac. Okay? And that's a staple order every time I go.
Is it really?
I'm not just giving lip service to the chili mac. That's my go-to.
I get it not infrequently.
Double steak burger with cheese, cheese fry, and a chili mac. every time I go.
A nice light lunch.
It's a huge order. Then you digest it like
Ready
a
to take
snake
on the day.
for like a week and a half.
Oof.
Somebody said the one at Newhall's Ferry in 270 is open. They have one there?
Well, according to
There
the
you go.
texture.
By the old movie theater?
See, there are a few around. I just hope the ones that are around. There's one in Fenton on Highway 30, down past Fenton proper.
Wasn't there one right there at 141 and 44?
Yeah, that
Is
shut
that
down.
not, that shut down?
That shut down. Actually, Freddy's.
Right by the Wet
which
Willies?
Freddy's is
Yeah,
more
there's
of
the
a Steak and
Freddy's.
Shake
Yeah.
clone,
Okay.
and that's.
All right. Okay, hear me
So
out.
we
though.
said all that to say this.
I'm leaving Columbia, Missouri after a Mizzou football game. Spent the night at the Red Roof Inn. It was terrible. Last hotel that was open, though. And we get Steak and Shake on the way out, and it is hot. It is fresh. It is delicious. I really think at the end of the day, just like anything else, it all depends on who's working.
I don't know. I know that Steak and Shake.
Really good.
I never had a good
right
meal
at
there.
63.
Yep.
I would say local management has a lot to do with presentation and speed, to Connor's point, and quality of the meal. I think there's something to that. I can't verify your thoughts about the one in Columbia, but I see your point.
So did you have Steak and Shake at Indy? Is this why you bring it up?
No, they didn't have one there.
Oh, okay.
Even though it was the headquarters.
They don't
even
have
though-
one at the headquarters.
Oh.
They need to.
You think they'd have like a window? You know,
Yes.
to get ordered?
Somebody on the text line said the Steak and Shake on Jungerman in St. Peter's is open, but it's self-serve. You order at the kiosk.
Yeah.
Just have the kiosk thing up there, you know?
Well, you got to have someone making the food.
Well, yeah, right. Okay, they're there. They would be there. Someone says, Josh, where the Ackerman Buick used to be is a Steak and Shake now. Okay. There's a Steak and Shake at Old St. Charles Rock Road in Lindbergh.
Old St. Charles Rock Road
In Lindbergh.
in Lindbergh.
Trying to picture where that
Well,
is.
there used to be one there on Lindbergh right across from, is that Old St. Charles Rock? There used to be one right across at Northwest Plaza because
Well, yeah.
because our friend Ruth Cagle was a waitress there, and we would occasionally dine and dash, and we're very sad about that and embarrassed and that we put that on her. But it was fun.
Well, you should go back and pay them your $2.80. There's still one at Kings Highway in Chippewa. So there's plenty of Steak and Shakes out
Yeah.
there. Come on.
Speaking of the automated ordering, did you talk about this, Josh? I know I sent it to you. The Taco Bell
Oh, yeah.
AIs that were malfunctioning. Bob, I don't know if you saw this.
I don't know this story.
But you knew that, you might have known because Josh has been talking about it, that Taco Bell is one of these places that was experimenting with AI drive-through like order takers. So like you'd speak into the speaker, but no one's there listening. It's AI.
Okay.
So one of the problems they found they were having was that the AI could malfunction and cause enough problems where you'd have to have someone step in, at which point you go, well, you know, what's the point of the AI? But there's some of the mistakes it was making was funny. Like it charged someone for like hundreds of dollars worth of extra food. Someone came around and ordered just a drink, and it kept asking him, what would you like to drink with that?
Yeah, I already told you.
Sounds like a movie scene.
What would you like to drink with that? And it was a Sprite. But the whole system, it seemed like it was well set up to take, you know, a mobile order where you are given a code and you go, my code is 3158, and it knows that, and then it's. But when you're actually giving an order,
And translating human
it
speech.
was not doing a very good job.
Uh-huh.
And you ever go to a fast food place and it'll be like this. Welcome to Taco Bell. You should try da-da-da-da-da for 99 cents. And then other voice comes
Yeah.
on and says,
Oh, yeah.
hey, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get you?
What do you want?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever.
Who am I
actually-
talking to?
I don't know if I've experienced.
Oh, yeah. It happens to me all
They
the
have
time.
the canned welcome to Taco Bell that they probably have at every.
Would you like an apple turnover?
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. I
And
want.
then some guy comes on and goes, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get you? And you're like, well, what happened to the nice lady that was just asking me about the cinnamon twists? On the show today, I failed to mention this. Dan Warner and Patrick Murphy are going to join us. The Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival is this Saturday and that it's always a fun event that we always go to every single year. So we'll tell you about that. Andrea Drysdale from ABC is going to talk to us about Robert Redford. That was a tough one to get this morning, an alert that he had passed away.
Yes, it was.
Going to talk about that. Eric Seamers from the Business Journal is going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. Schnucks just bought a bunch of grocery stores up in Wisconsin. The Boeing machinists have submitted their own deal. And now it's up to Boeing to say yes or no. And St. Louis is losing people fast. Where can we get to replace them? Royal Oaks is going to join us at the end of the 4 o'clock hour. 2 trials going on right now. The Luigi Mangione and the kid that shot Charlie Kirk. And Taylor Robinson?
Tyler.
I haven't really learned his name. And frankly, we shouldn't even really be saying it out loud. But what's next for both of these guys? And then Brendan Weesey in the 5 o'clock is going to talk to us about sports.
And I want to ask Royal about where are we in the sentencing on Kohlberger? And the Idaho murders.
If he pled guilty, he took a deal
to take capital punishment off the table.
And in Utah, capital punishment is officially on the table now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the latest news out of the Charlie Kirk assassination. So that is our show today, but we got a lot of stuff to do. I wanted to ask Bob who he thought was the most handsome actor he's ever seen. The passing of Robert Redford, 89 years old. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody better looking than that.
You know, I'd like to do things in threes.
Mm-hmm.
My trilogies, and you can mix them up any way you want. But as they popped into my head, Robert Redford, Elvis Presley, circa 1968-69.
Thank you very much.
And probably Cary Grant.
With the pencil thin mustache.
No, he didn't have no.
Who's the guy?
You're
that
thinking
had
of Clark Gable.
Oh, I am thinking of Clark Gable.
Yeah, Cary Grant. And maybe I'm influenced because my wife always says, "Wow, he's handsome." Cary Grant. So,
well, if she thinks so, then he
so
must be.
Those are the first 3 that popped into my head.
Who is the most handsome actor that has ever shown on the screen?
You go back and look at Elvis in the '68 comeback special in the leather, or there's one in 1969. There's a picture that's out there all the time where he's walking down a hallway and he's got a dark brown suit, one of those funky suits with no lapels and a one button, no shirt underneath, with a big smile on his face and an entourage behind him. Be pretty hard to top that.
I think my generation's most handsome actor would have to be Brad Pitt. He is basically a Robert Redford clone.
And I always thought he was trying to be him on film.
Well, they were in what movie were they in together, Connor? What was that one?
Spy movie. What was that?
Well, this is a rhetorical. We were just talking about this.
I always bring it up, but Connor says, but you've never seen it.
You've never seen it.
Spy Game.
Spy Game. It's a good
Spy
movie.
Game.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like that
Tony
was
Scott, kind of a 90s or early 2000s.
I always felt like that was Robert Redford passing the torch to Brad Pitt.
And in River Runs Through It, directed by Redford. I just think Pitt, and I'm not denigrating him for it, is trying to channel Redford. That had the movie been done 30 years before, Redford would have played the role.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. And Connor, who did you say Frank said was a handsome actor? Sean Connery?
Well, Frank kept talking about Sean Connery this morning.
Sean Connery was a man's man. I'll give you that.
He was insistent that women loved Sean Connery.
Mr. Universe, right? Wasn't he?
I think he was a bodybuilder, but I don't think he won. I could be wrong about that. Great story about Sean Connery is because he was a legit tough guy. There's a movie, Lana Turner, and remember she was seeing a mob guy. Was it Johnny Stompanato? Anyway, the story was he came onto the set and was giving Connery some trouble, thought he was flirting with her, and Connery beat the hell out of him. Somebody look that story up and straighten it out for me. I may have gotten some of the facts right, and I may have made up some of them.
Well, isn't that what a good story's all about?
Okay.
84126, who is the most handsome actor to ever grace the screen? We're getting texts that come in. Steve McQueen, handsome and cool.
Yeah, true. Very true.
William Holden,
Bill Holden was a very handsome
I'm
man.
going to have to Google image search him here in the commercial break. And then George Mahey from St. Louis Magazine was just on with Carney earlier. He has weighed in on the private text line, my phone. And he says, George Clooney.
Clooney's a handsome man.
Good-looking guy. Text us 84126. We'll talk about it at 3:50 with ABC. We'll also talk about it in the Hollywood that Bob's going to do with Heidi absent today at 5:45. So plenty of talk about handsome Hollywood actors on this show, plus other more important things. It is the Heidi Glaus Show minus Heidi. She's watching the Fever. So Bob
She's
and
got a
Josh.
fever.
Yeah. The only prescription is more Caitlin Clark, but I don't think she's going to grace the court. It is 3:27. We'll be back with traffic and talking to the folks from the Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival.
You guys, I am so excited for this. The St. Louis Symphony Orchestra begins a new era with the reopening of Powell Hall at the new Jack C. Taylor Music Center. It is going to be fantastic. The opening weekend concert, September 26th through the 28th, feature world premieres of composer-in-residence Kevin Putt's House of Tomorrow. This is going to be incredible. But just going into this new building, I don't know if you've been past it. I have a couple of times, just kind of waiting patiently to see how incredible this is going to be. So you have this building now, and then you put the best of the best musicians inside, and it is going to be a one-of-a-kind experience. You can see the entire list of shows online, slso.org. And I got to say, take lots of pictures, post them. It is going to be a fantastic season at the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, now in the brand new Powell Hall. It is unlike anything else that we have seen here in St. Louis. Bigger, better, and fantastic music. We'll see you there.
You can count on Cantor. I'm Mark Cantor. When I was 12 years old, I witnessed my father, a pediatric doctor at Cardinal Glennon Hospital, suffer a terrible accident when a large and defective battery exploded in his face. My father went into shock and had to undergo emergency surgery to save his life. While my dad recovered, he hired a lawyer who promised that no one else would be hurt by that company's product, and he filed a lawsuit to make sure no one did. I love my dad, and what he went through inspired me to become a lawyer and to start Cantor Injury Law. Like my father, I serve the St. Louis community, and I have done so for over 30 years. You can count on Cantor to treat you like family, to understand your case and your injury, and to fight for you. You can count on Cantor to help make things right. Visit cantorinjurylaw.com or find us on Facebook or call us at 314-628-9999. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision, should not be based solely upon advertisement, so call Cantor.
Missouri Show Me 5 hospitals are leading the way in becoming baby-friendly. Hospital practices play a huge role in supporting families with infant feeding choices and breastfeeding success. Show Me 5 hospitals are committed to creating a welcoming, supportive environment for moms and babies. Want to find a Show Me 5 certified hospital near you? Learn more about what makes a hospital baby-friendly and see a list of participating hospitals at health.mo.gov/showme5.
Wake up, it's a brand new day.
Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern. Wednesday on the McGraw Show, we have a guest in the 9 o'clock hour who I can't tell you about because it's a secret. If you want to find out the answer, listen Wednesday at exactly 9:12, and you'll find out then. Unless it doesn't happen, then never mind.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550, KTRS.
The big, beautiful tax bill just passed. Do you know how these changes will affect your financial plan? What changes has your financial advisor made to take advantage of these opportunities before they expire? Join me, Kevin Lloyd, for my next tax workshop, 314-641-1010. Learn how these changes can benefit you and your family. 314-641-1010.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPLA, registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Take a look at traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky. Paul, how are the roads looking? Well, we go to it every year, and it's that time of year. The Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival returns for its 23rd year this Saturday, September 20th, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Dan Warner, sponsorship director, and Patrick Murphy, he is the chair of the Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival, are here with us. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in, and thank you for putting this on every year.
Well, it's fun working with you guys. Really.
It's great. KTRS has been with us almost every year, and having a partner like you guys to get the word out gives it credibility.
We were laughing, but when we were off mic, you're introducing us as the chairman and the sponsorship director, like we've all got titles and stuff. Basically, for the last 25 years, because with COVID took 2 years out of it, it's just a bunch of guys who've been getting together regularly at the Garden Cafe and some girls, yes. Yeah. And putting this thing together. It's just a bunch of friends.
So how did that first time happen? Was it just over coffee?
It was at Webster Records, which is where I worked. And one of the guys who worked there had run jazz festivals in other parts of the country, actually, a Big Spiderback festival in particular. And he said, why don't we do one in Webster? And everybody looked at him and said, you know how to do it? And he goes, yeah. I go, well, let's try it. And we went to the trade association, the taxing district, and said, would you fund this? It was 5 bands for 5 hours, one day, and one stage. And it drew all these people. We couldn't believe how many. And I felt a little self-conscious being in the record store promoting a music event was sort of self-serving. No, we found out every store did great. All the restaurants did great. They loved it.
So Johnny Johnson.
And then the next year, we pulled Johnny Johnson on.
How about that?
And then we were the Webster Jazz Festival, Old Webster Jazz Fest, and now we were the Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival. And blues brings in even more people.
Oh, yeah.
And now we've got 2 stages.
Yeah.
And I love how you close the streets down. People make themselves very comfortable, Bob. I saw a whole living room set out there one year.
It's
you know,
true.
it's like a couch. I think somebody
enjoy life.
Yeah, somebody had a lamp out there.
Candelabra.
And
they set their friends in a circle and they talk and they listen. And
we kind of
so
figured we
great.
had like 13,000 people there last year.
yeah, it draws
What?
well.
13,000. All of Gore, all the way from the railroad tracks, all the way to Lockwood, is packed.
And it's all day. So you have some that come in the afternoon.
And then a block down, Allen Avenue, same thing. There's a stage there as well.
Oh, my.
It's family friendly. You know, strollers during the day, kids with their parents, and then at night it turns over a little more blues, and there's great food, there's great drinks, the music goes from, as you said, 1 to 11. We have, what I'm really excited about, we have Marquise Knox as our headliner. He's really our built-in headliner every year. He is a prodigy of Johnny Johnson. And so when Johnny passed away, Johnny's widow, Frances, said, I really think he's the guy. He had been at our festival as a young kid, but she goes, Johnny really liked him.
And this year the tradition continues because Marquise got a prodigy.
Listen to this.
No, tell him about it.
Okay. So last year, Marquise is up there with his, great set of music, and he said, hey, I've got a surprise. And he brought out what he said, one of my family. This 13-year-old kid comes out and starts wailing on the guitar.
Nailing it.
Like
Just
I have never.
killing it.
His name is Lamonte Rucker. And it reminded me so much of 14 years ago when Marquise came for his first time on our festival, and we all were amazed at what this kid.
At first, you could hear a pin drop, 10,000 people, and it was just like, what the hell is
And then they're all wailing like, this kid's got it.
Yeah.
Please, if you do anything that day, join us at 8 p.m. Come early and stay for more time. But this kid is so cool. And we got him. And I really do look at this as maybe an extension of what we did with Marquise. It's like showcasing.
Then change your pace. On the headliner for the Allen stage is Miss Jubilee. And
have you ever heard her?
No.
They recreate music from like the
1920s,
1930s, and
1930s.
40s. And she is so good. She's a great singer.
She owns the stage. She's incredible.
And her band is top notch.
You've got 2 stages. How is it configured? Where are we, and how do fans, with that many people, get in, park, navigate? Where do they want to go? When do they want to go there?
Well, okay, Allen Street is, if you know Webster Straub's is on Allen Street.
Oh, yeah.
And then a block over is Gore, the main drag of downtown. And so you can easily walk 150 yards maybe a couple of ways. You can come down Lockwood or you can go along the railroad tracks. And we've kind of staggered it a little bit, the acts.
We do a jazz act on one and a blues act on the other. So they're staggered a little bit in time, like 15 minutes. So you can kind of get between the two. If you want to take half one in and then take in the other half.
It works. It works really well. You can kind of catch half of a set on one and the other, half of the other set on the other.
And parking's free.
Yeah.
And parking's available in the businesses that are around, the parking lots of the churches, those are available. Plus, the residential streets are right there.
Well, the whole thing is free. I mean, that's what's so cool about it. The whole thing is free because we've got great sponsors. Dan, you particularly, you're out there all year, raising money and getting sponsors.
Well, KTRS is one of the big sponsors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can thank us.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you. Thank you.
But just to reiterate, Lamonte Rucker, he is the prodigy. How old is he now? 14 years old. He's going to take the Gore stage at 8 p.m. That would be the main stage, I guess,
yes,
right?
That's
he'll be on at 8 p.m. for his own set, and then Marquise Knox is going to hit it at 8:30 and probably keep him around for a little bit.
He'll actually come out with Marquise's band.
Yeah.
And have his own set, and then Marquise will walk on, and like you said,
And then do
some stuff
that'd
together.
be great.
Do his own thing. We used to go down all the time. We were CJ Muggs people.
Yeah.
That was our family. Not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's a new restaurant. So what is the food and drink situation this year?
We have great food. We have the Parkmore, which is the burgers, the classic burgers that the Parkmore used to serve. They've recreated that in the new Parkmore restaurant. We've also got Straub's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Which is so good. They have some of the best barbecue sauce I've ever had.
And their meats, the Kobe beefs, and it's really, really high quality. And then we've got Madrina, which is in CJ Muggs.
Which is the old CJ Muggs.
And they're going to be serving Neapolitan-style pizzas.
It's very good.
Oh, that's great.
And then you've got our other restaurants that are always there that you can go in and out of, too, during the day. So,
absolutely. Always a great event. I can't believe it's in its 23rd year, but you guys are doing a great job with it. Anything else that we should know?
Well, just come out and spend the day with us because you're going to meet some people that have the same mind to be out with the community and listening to great music. And I think it's going to be a little cooler. So if you've been pent up for this week, and so
it's going to be perfect.
It's going to be a little cooler on Saturday. So
mid-80s and no rain.
Right. And so if somebody is there like a set list of times for everyone? Can they go online?
Yes.
Tell us how to do that.
OldWebsterJazzFest.com and our social media page on Facebook, Old Webster Jazz Festival. They have all the listing of all the acts.
Great.
In fact, there are 12 different bands, and they're all good. They're all really good.
And if you want to volunteer, you can go to the website and volunteer.
Yeah,
if you
we still
want
got
to.
room for volunteers. Get a free T-shirt.
Free T-shirt.
Bob, you're in, right?
Oh, Okay.
And half of the fun is going into all the restaurants and everything there in Webster. It's a really great. So what is it? Old Orchard is that side, and this is Old Webster.
This is the Old Webster, which is a little bit older than Old Orchard. It's the downtown area where the train station is.
And it's always fun to pop in and out of the restaurants, get a drink.
Dee
And the
Mao
shops.
is over there.
Yeah, Dee Mao's over there now.
I think there are 13 restaurants in just our district.
And so it's fun to participate in that and
the retail shops.
and go to the retail shops and all that. But can I BYOB? Can I bring a cooler?
We ask that you not. We ask that you just support the
support the local businesses. That's half of the fun of going out there on that day.
Yeah, because the restaurants that are there as sponsors, food sponsors, are supporting it, are
That's
making it
very
happen.
Absolutely.
And it's safer that way with glass bottles and all the worry.
Yes, it is.
1 p.m. till 11 p.m. It's the Old Webster Jazz and Blues Festival. Like I said, we go every single year, and this year will be no different. It'll be taking place this Saturday. Gentlemen, Dan Warner, Patrick Murphy, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you,
Josh,
for
and
helping
Bob.
us, really.
Thanks for supporting it.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. More heat on the way. A low of 66 is pretty mild in the morning, though, but it heats up quickly. A high of 92 under mostly sunny skies. Not overly humid, so there's no heat index, but it's hot again for Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 93. Temperatures will back down to the 80s Friday into the weekend with a chance for a few showers and storms. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella Windows specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a banner day.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwnerOperators.com.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Appliance Discounters has another showroom, this time on Gravois Road, right next to the little Dairy Queen that's been there for ages. This showroom is different. It's packed with name brands, GE, LG, Bosch, that are slightly dinged, one-of-a-kind, or closeout items direct from the manufacturer. They all come with the factory warranties and all the factory rebates. You want huge savings at big discounts, theappliancediscounters.com. To find the one nearest you, including the one on Gravois Road in Afton, theappliancediscounters.com.
Julie Buck here for the Only Facial. If you want great skin, and I mean, who doesn't, then pop into the Only Facial and get a facial. They've got so many steps to this process, and it's one price, $125. No tipping, no upsells, no product sales, just a fabulous facial, including microderm abrasion and dermaplaning, and of course, therapeutic massage, just to name a few of the things that will happen during your facial at the Only Facial, with locations all over St. Louis. Also in Overland Park, Kansas, too. So if you're in the KC area, you'll know that you can just go to the Only Facial and get that same facial that you know and love, that you get in Frontenac, that you get in Clayton, that you get in Columbia, Missouri, Sunset Hills, all over town. Look for it. They're pink. You can't miss them, and it's fabulous. It's called The Only Facial, and you can find out more online and book now, too, at theonlyfacial.com.
Hey, from Hats and Stuff, the summer's heat is starting to break and the kids are back to school, and we're gearing up for an exciting fall with a great selection of NFL and NHL hoodies, ball caps, and so much more. We still have great deals on Cardinals and Mizzou merchandise for the entire family at fantastic prices. We have a huge selection of St. Louis-inspired graphic tees, all at $10. And don't forget about the cowboy hats. Located in Westport Plaza, across from the Drunken Fish and the Kobe Steakhouse, and the Soulard Farmers Market on Saturdays. Hats and Stuff. Good stuff at really great prices. Hats and Stuff.
Country Club Car Wash is the best car wash in town. How do I know? I have an unlimited monthly pass to Country Club Car Wash, and it's fantastic. They're touchless, and you get free vacuums at select locations. Each and every day on the morning show, we will be giving away one free Country Club Car Wash to the text of the day. And each week, we'll be giving away a grand prize, 1 month of free Country Club Car Washes to the text of the week. We'll see you on the show, and we'll see you at Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Old Webster Jazz and Blues Fest this Saturday, 1 to 11 p.m. I was telling Connor that I will probably, for a good while on Saturday, be at the Monster Jam down at the Dome.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was here.
Monster Jam.
Okay.
I'm going to bring Finn. I've never been to a monster
bringing
truck
headphones?
show. We bought the headphones.
Good.
Never been to a monster truck show. I asked my buddy, I said, where's the best seats? He said, the higher the better.
So you can see kind of the field.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So you could see. But he says it's also really loud.
Yeah.
So the further back you can get, I guess there's really no way to avoid it.
You didn't even do the Sunday.
Sunday, be there, the Monster Truck Jam.
Yeah, ear coverings for sure.
Desperate times. Las Vegas Mayor Shelley Berkeley has made a plea to Canadians to return to the Sin City on their vacations. The Las Vegas tourism is hurting badly. Canadian tourists represent Sin City's largest market and contributed $3.6 billion to the local economy last year. As of June, Air Canada passengers flying into Harry Reid International Airport were down 33%.
Oh, that's a big number.
And apparently, there's another airline in Canada, Flair Airlines. Their trips to Vegas plummeted by 62%. They are blaming economic concerns and trade tensions for people stopping going to Vegas. But as Heidi went, I went just this past summer. It's too darn expensive. Who was that guy in New York with the rent is too dang high guy? Remember him? The lattes in Vegas are too dang expensive. Everything in Vegas is just so darn expensive. So to see that these numbers are down, I'm not surprised. And the mayor has actually come out and said, please, please come back. Are they going to sweeten the deal, or is they just going to beg us?
Begging. That's where it starts.
Yeah. Well, you got to sweeten the deal, I think, a little bit. It is 3:50. Let's check traffic with Captain Paul. We put it out to the listeners. Who is the most handsome actor to ever grace the silver screen? And a lot of people are weighing in. Paul Newman. Another vote for William Holden. Charles Bronson. Somebody said my mom always liked Charles Bronson.
Well, that's different. That's a different answer. A different topic.
It's a different answer, but I think dollars to donuts, it didn't get much better than Robert Redford, one of the most handsome men ever on screen. Passed away today at the age of 89. We are joined by ABC, and Andrea Dresdale is joining us. She's the entertainment reporter there. Andrea, what happened this morning? How did we find this out?
Well, we got a statement from his rep saying that he passed away today at his home in the mountains of Utah. This is a place he loved. Said he was surrounded by those he loved, and he will be missed greatly. The family requests privacy, as they usually do. And he was 89 years old, and I think he was one of those people that everybody always thought would always be there. He's so much of a part of American culture. It's hard to believe that he's gone.
Andrea, it hit me kind of hard because I was a kid in the 60s, a teenager in the 70s, and he was the guy. Every guy wanted to be the Sundance Kid, and every woman wanted to be with the Sundance Kid. And so when those kind of icons, leave us, it's particularly tough. But then as you read more about him, he was a real person. I mean, his environmental positions, creating the Sundance Film Festival, and all the things he did off screen really made him a pretty special guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those few actors that made the transition from in front of the camera to behind the camera, and that's where he won his Oscar, not as an actor, but as a director. And, some would say he was almost better known as a director later on in his career.
Mm-hmm.
But, from the 60s right on through to 2018, when he retired from acting, he was like a constant presence on our movie screens. But he directed 9 feature films. Like I said, he won an Oscar. And then even if all he had ever done would have been founding the Sundance Film Festival, that would have been, enough in a way, because that has had an impact on Hollywood that's sort of like reverberated down through the decades.
And he was an outspoken environmentalist, and I think people appreciate that. As he, you mentioned that he lived in Utah, and they sort of fell in love with that area doing Jeremiah Johnson, but his environmental positions were really important.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when he got so many awards because of that. He was a trustee of the National Resources Defense Council. He worked to address climate change.
Mm-hmm.
He got the highest honors from our country that anybody could get. He got the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He got the Kennedy Center Honors. He got the National Medal of the Arts. And on top of all of that, his, like as you said, his environmental work, Native American issues, civil rights, protection of the environment. He supported both Republican and Democratic candidates over the decades. But, in general, he was a big supporter of progressive politics and, as you say, the environment and civil rights.
And he won that Oscar for Ordinary People. He directed that.
Yeah, which was pretty amazing. That was his directorial debut. And that movie, which starred Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, and Timothy Hutton, it won 6 Oscars, and including Best Picture and Best Director for Robert Redford. And then he was nominated again when he directed the quiz show in 1994.
I got to tell you, because you know all this stuff too. I love the little film he did, the Milagro Beanfield War. That he directed, and so he could do a bigger film, Mary Tyler Moore, Donald Sutherland, or the smaller movies. And he didn't direct that, would you say 9 films? But he was, you could see his hand and how accomplished he was.
Oh yeah, I mean, A River Runs Through It.
Oh, beautiful
also.
film.
That was another one, and then he. And then the fact is that he continued acting all throughout. He would go back and forth between directing and acting. And, one of his recent roles that I thought was really surprising was he was in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The Marvel film, he playing a villain, and
That's right.
you see Robert Redford, you don't see him as the villain, but he did a really good job in that film.
It's really funny you brought that up. I was just telling these guys I'm going back and watching all the Marvel movies in order, and I just hit that, and I said, What is Robert Redford doing in this? And I remarked that we hadn't seen him in a while. You said that he retired in 2018.
Right.
Was he ill? Did he make a statement in 2018 and just said, "Hey, I've done enough"?
Yeah, that's basically what he said. He said, I've done it long enough. I don't need to do it anymore.
All right. Well, anything else that we should know as we honor and look back on Robert Redford today, passed away at 89?
Well, I think that his impact on Hollywood will continue because of the Sundance Film Festival. It's still the largest independent film festival in the U.S. It spawned a million other film festivals. And just keeping independent voices vibrant and supporting those kinds of filmmakers, people coming up like Steven Soderbergh, for example, or, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
All these guys became big because of independent film support of the kind that he pioneered with the Sundance Film Festival. So, I think that in many ways that's his lasting legacy.
Tough question. Do you have a favorite film of Redford's?
Well, I like The Sting. I've always liked that one.
It's hard. It's hard to go against that one. One of the really great movies of all time.
Yeah, and a great soundtrack too.
Yes.
You want to weigh in on this, Andrea? We've been trying to figure out who is the most attractive male Hollywood star ever. Do you have any players that you want to throw at us?
I heard you say it a little earlier that you think Redford's up there, but honestly, I think Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great call.
He was just beautiful. Just beautiful.
I have to tip my cap to that answer. Yeah. That's good.
All right, Andrea Drysdale from ABC News Entertainment Reporter, thank you so much for joining us and talking about Robert Redford.
Thanks a lot.
Does the thought of turning on your AC unit make you sweat? Are you dreading another summer of high energy bills in a home that won't stay cool? Do yourself a favor. Schedule a maintenance visit with Viviano Heating and Air, with technicians trained to service every make and model of equipment. We'll put your mind at ease and keep you cool and comfortable all season long. Call today, 618-345-7498, or visit the website, vivianoair.com. That's vivianoair.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Don't look now, but the Stages season is just about over. But before they close up shop for the season, beautiful, the Carole King musical, now at Stages. It starts September 19th through October 19th. For tickets, stages.stlewis.org. Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware. 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware. We'll see you there.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Scooped up by Missouri Zion Young at the 15, to the 10, to the house, to the house.
The home of Mizzou football. Don't miss any of the action.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Utah, suspect Tyler Robinson is expected to appear virtually in court this hour on charges in the murder of political activist Charlie Kirk. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray says they're seeking the death penalty and charging Robinson with 7 counts, including aggravated murder, weapons charges, and tampering with evidence. Gray says that includes text messages sent to his roommate and partner. Some of the texts read aloud by Gray when the suspect was apparently on the run.
Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence.
Authorities say the 22-year-old left a trail of evidence, including the weapon prosecutors say belonged to Robinson's grandfather. ABC's Pierre Thomas has more.
We learned new information about the DNA, evidence that they believe ties him to the scene, that Tyler Robinson's DNA was found on the trigger of the gun that they believed was used in the attack.
A UN report released today finding Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. The three-person panel reviewed evidence and determined Israel was in violation of 4 of the 5 metrics defining genocide under international law. Israel calling the report distorted. ABC's James Longman has more.
And they have found since the Hamas attack of October 2023 that Israel is intent on the destruction of the Palestinian people. That's a quote from their report. And they make a distinction between killing civilians as a result of the effort to try to go after Hamas, inadvertently killing them, if you like, and purposefully trying to go after civilians.
Israeli forces began its ground offensive today in Gaza City. President Trump arrived in London. He and the First Lady are in the UK for a second state visit. He'll also meet with the UK's Prime Minister to refine the trade deal. You're listening to ABC News.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
Elevate your home with stunning lighting from Metro Lighting.
Shopping for a gorgeous chandelier for your dining room?
Need a new table lamp?
Or lighting your entire dream home?
Our certified lighting specialists are here to help.
Locally owned with 6 convenient locations.
An amazing selection of lighting for any style and budget.
And all at the guaranteed best price.
And did you know?
Metro Lighting is a great source for furniture, art, and home decor too.
Metro Lighting.
Full of bright ideas for your home.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Estate Planning, and Elder Law. Call them, 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
93 degrees at 4:04 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. An autopsy is being conducted on the body of a woman who was found inside of a tote bag in North St. Louis. The grisly discovery was made in an overgrown lot in the 4900 block of Harney Avenue. This comes after human remains were found last Thursday in the Wells Goodfellow neighborhood. However, police say there's no evidence to believe that the two cases are connected. The public's help is being sought in identifying a person of interest in connection with a series of car fires in Clayton believed to be a hate crime. Clayton police have released video surveillance footage of the person of interest. That video is available on the social media sites of the Clayton Police Department. Anyone with information should call Clayton Police or Crime Stoppers. President Donald Trump is still considering sending the National Guard to St. Louis.
Governor Mike Kehoe has activated the Missouri National Guard to support tornado recovery operations in St. Louis. Up to 41 engineering personnel are being deployed to support the key mission of debris removal and sorting. The Guard members will be in St. Louis through June 11th. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Republican lawmakers in Illinois are taking action against Governor Pritzker over what they call hateful rhetoric. The Illinois Freedom Caucus has filed articles of impeachment, citing various statements made by the governor and accusing him of comparing Republicans to Nazis in his budget address earlier this year. A majority of the Illinois House of Representatives would need to vote in favor of impeaching Pritzker before a trial could begin in the Senate. Madison County is accepting applications for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program that will start October 1st. It aims to assist income-eligible households with their natural gas, propane, electric bills, and furnace assistance for inoperable heating systems. Applications will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis through August 15th of 2026 or until funding is exhausted. And Jazz St. Louis is holding its 30th anniversary kickoff party today. It begins at 5:30 with a parade through Grand Center, then live music and food trucks at Strauss Park until 8 o'clock. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. A Metro East hospital is increasing its expansion plans. The St. Louis Business Journal reports that officials are considering a $116 million expansion at HSHS St. Elizabeth's Hospital in O'Fallon. The project is to expand and overhaul the hospital's emergency department and inpatient rooms and add a new outpatient surgery center, advanced imaging facilities, and medical office space. The markets are brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow down 125 points at 45,758, NASDAQ down 5 at 22,343, and the S&P 500 down 8 at 6,606. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic. We're looking for sunny skies for the rest of the day. Clear tonight, an overnight low around 65. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 93. At 4:08, sunshine, 93 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
The City of Wildwood invites you to join the celebration as it celebrates its 30th anniversary. Celebrate Wildwood will be Saturday, September 20th, kicking off with its parade at 10 a.m. and then followed by all-day activities with fun for the whole family. A large assortment of kids' activities for all ages, and for adults, a vendor market, food vendors, music and dancing, and the night wraps up with a spectacular fireworks show. For more information, go to cityofwildwood.com/celebrate Wildwood. Consider yourself invited.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines on a Tuesday, September 16th. Heidi out, by the way, today. She'll be back again tomorrow. She's going to that Indiana Fever game tonight. It's a playoff game. And I believe, guess who's singing the national anthem?
Winona.
Yeah.
She told us.
Yes.
She's going to the sound check.
She's going to the sound. So she's got an inside track.
Yeah.
And this is like her dream come true.
Yeah.
She's got a WNBA game and a Winona concert all wrapped up into one.
I have a feel. Here would be
she's probably going to sit in the box with Winona.
Here would be the question: if Winona said, "Come be a roadie on our tour,"
yeah,
I think she'd leave us and go.
Leave your wife, leave your job.
No, bring her and the dog.
Yeah,
I don't think Marsha would go.
Marsha wouldn't go.
Yeah, the dog bite.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get all the Heidi stories behind the scenes, talking X's and O's with Winona. I wonder if Winona has she's got a basketball mind like Heidi does. Heidi played in college, so I wonder if they're gonna be able to really get down to the nitty gritty.
I don't know.
Talking hoop.
with the chuds. My headline today, Donald Trump has signed an order looking to decrease the number of drug ads on television and in social media. They are accusing companies of misleading the public about medications and their side effects, but it might just be a tactic to get them to lower drug prices. This has been one of the biggest things of his presidency.
We'd like both of those things, wouldn't we?
I would like to see less drug ads and lower drug prices. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He wrote a letter to 17 drug company CEOs in July directing them to participate in programs to sell certain drugs directly to companies and consumers at most favored nation prices. That would mean that what they pay for it in
everywhere else,
France, is what we pay for it here.
Absolutely.
I really don't understand why it's so expensive here and not anywhere else. But the memorandum stops well short of seeking a total prohibition. So we may see drug commercials still on TV, but maybe we'll be seeing a lot less of them. And again, this might just be another tactic to try to get them to lower drug prices, or at least start the process of lowering drug prices. But if we could get less Skyrizi commercials on the air, I'd be pretty happy for it.
I've got two stories for you. One is maddening and maybe more head-scratching than maddening, and the other one is about closure. But the first one is that, there's been a lot of back and forth about the FBI and releasing, they got the guy early that had assassinated Charlie Kirk. Remember that a few hours later into the evening, and then it turned out it wasn't the guy. Well, it wasn't just some schmo. It was a guy, George Zim, 71, who was arrested right away, and he told them when they arrested him, "I shot him, now shoot me," that he was more or less running interference. They haven't necessarily made a connection, but that he was running interference for whoever shot him, and he's in big trouble. So that kind of clears up one of those things. Now, that's ridiculous. Here's the sublime. Was it you or Heidi the other day did a story about the Twin Tower bodies and how they're still discovering through DNA and getting closure? We wondered about closure.
60 Minutes did a piece. They are still sifting through the rubble and
finding body parts,
DNA and body parts, and alerting family members.
Well, this one is similar, but even a longer period of time. A World War II sailor who died the day the war officially ended has been accounted for. U.S. Navy Reserve Ensign Eugene E. Mandeberg, he was 23, out of Detroit. He's part of the Fighting Squadron 88 aboard the USS Yorktown. Summer of 45, he had enlisted in 41, went overseas. His formation engaged with enemy fighters over Tokyo during that last mission. It turned out to be VJ Day, and 4 of the aircraft did not return to the Yorktown. In March of 46, U.S. personnel retrieved the remains of an unknown American service member from a temple in Yokohama. The remains, known as Yokohama No. 1, were believed to belong to an American pilot, but they had no way to identify him. Now they do, and they have. So hopefully the family can get the closure that they've sought all these decades.
How about that?
They believe the last American who died in World War II.
How about that story? And using DNA
to figure
it out. How about that? All right, you mentioned the Charlie Kirk story, the assassin. What's next for him? Luigi Mangione also in the news. We're going to talk to Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst. Why is the Luigi Mangione kid avoiding a terrorism charge? There's some updates in that trial that just came down today. So Royal's going to talk about both cases. And then coming up next, Eric Siemers from the St. Louis Business Journal is going to join us, as he does every Tuesday afternoon. Schnucks has just bought a couple of grocery stores up in Wisconsin, and the Boeing machinists are submitting their own plan for Boeing to either sign off on or say, nope, let's keep this strike going a little bit longer. We'll talk to Eric right after this commercial break on the Big 550 KTRS.
Royal Banks of Missouri is proud to sponsor the Battle of Columbia as the South Carolina Gamecocks travel to Columbia this Saturday to take on the Mizzou Tigers.
2 tacklers to the house in Missouri.
Don't miss all the action live here on the Big 550.
Pre-game starts at 4 p.m. with kickoff at 6 p.m.
And KTRS has full coverage all week on the Big Sports Show with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Lisi and the Press Box with Frank Cusimano.
Missouri delivers a counterpunch on the fake punch.
This is why the Big 550 is live, local, and the home for everything Mizzou. Proudly powered by Royal Banks of Missouri. Let's go Mizzou.
Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group, and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours. Let us show you how tax-smart investment strategies can protect your wealth. Give us a call at 636-394-5524, or you can visit us on the web at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Keep What's Yours, Saturday afternoons at 3.
Do you know why right now is the absolute best time to book your new patio or deck with my friends at Outdoor Living? Aside from being the best in town, these guys are really smart. They pay attention to market conditions, and they've stocked up on patio and deck supplies, including steel, all before these tariffs kicked in. So while their competitors' pricing has gone through the roof, prices have never been better at Outdoor Living. Now is the best time to call and book your summer job. Not to mention, these same competitors have sold out to large conglomerates and hedge funds. Pat Leahy and his team remain locally owned and operated, providing the best pricing and the best service in town. So, looking for a new deck or a new fence or anything outdoor? Outdoor Living, 314-966-DECK. That's 314-966-DECK. Or check them out online, Outdoor Living Inc., or check out their great showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, OutdoorLivingInc.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green online at jewelsonhampton.com.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpet sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. This is the Business Journal Report with editor Eric Siemers on the Heidi Glaus Show.
Powered by Capital Advisory Group, CapitalAdvisoryGRP.com.
Well, Eric Siemers joins us again today, as he does every Tuesday afternoon. Eric, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me.
And as we've been telling everybody, Heidi is out. She is in Indianapolis. I just got back from Indianapolis. And comparatively speaking, a very similar architecture, a lot of those kind of old buildings and everything. But it just seems like Indianapolis has a little bit more going on in their downtown.
Yeah, I had that same experience. I'm a big NBA fan. I grew up in Minnesota. I've been a Minnesota Timberwolves fan since the day they arrived on the earth. And I drove there with my wife a couple of years ago to go watch the Timberwolves play the Indiana Pacers. And I did no planning. We just got a hotel room near the stadium, went to a game, and the rest of it was just all sorted out right there in the downtown. I could find places to eat, bars to hang out in. Didn't need to have a whole lot of pre-planning. And I think about that often when people who might maybe make a pit stop in St. Louis or come to the Gateway Arch because they see it right off the interstate. Well, let's just pop in. And I think it's a lot harder than to go and just spend your time and experience it here the way this area is structured.
Yeah, I've been going to, I've been going to Indianapolis since the late 80s, and I agree with both of you, and I was fortunate enough to see the transformation. When I first started going there, it was kind of a pit downtown. It really was not good. And they really, now how they did it, I don't know, but as you two pointed out, the downtown is vibrant and really working there in Indy. So what they did and how they did it, you'd like our folks to learn from it.
Yeah, I think one of the big keys there in Indianapolis to turn it around is the commitment to build this sort of second-to-none world-class convention complex that's not too far from this massive NFL stadium that just draws people from all over the world, and it's centrally located. So it gets some of the biggest conventions in the world, and I think it just kind of built off of that. But again, that's just me as an outside observer, keeping an eye on the circumstance.
And Indianapolis is one of those cities that did that county-city merger years and years ago. I think Louisville was on the list as well. Indianapolis is doing better off because of it, they say, and that coming from the eggheads, the professors that we've had on the show to talk about it. But a city-county merger really helped them. Could it help us here in St. Louis? I think another thing that we're missing, guys, completely is the fact that the state capitol is also there. So,
Good point.
That is
to
forcing people.
Made, though,
yeah.
To that point you just made, I just, on our podcast, the Arch City Report today, I interviewed Ness Sandoval. Ness, as many people know, is a demographer from St. Louis University who has been really tracking this region's growth patterns over the years. And he's the one who has sort of highlighted the fact that St. Louis is in this demographic winter, which means that over time, put simply, we have far more older people than we do young people, and that's only probably going to get worse because we don't have enough young people with families moving into this community. And one thing he said to me really struck me as interesting as part of this conversation, which is that he looks at an area like Cincinnati, which has another similar characteristics. St. Louis, it's got good architecture. It's an older city. It had issues with racial divisions, with a whole lot of different problems. But he said that community has collectively, uniformly embraced growth for the region. And they are taking action that represents that. They're building single-family homes along their riverfront, developing their riverfront, and doing things that would bring more young families into their community in ways that in St. Louis, we have a lot of examples of people doing projects here and there of things in isolation, of we're going to redevelop this vacant property and do this. But they all seem kind of like on their own sort of little isolated things. There's no
disjointed.
Regional example. Yeah, a little disjointed. And now we've talked recently, and I believe you guys have too, spoken with the East-West Gateway Council of Governments, which is now putting together a strategic plan that kind of looks at bringing some of that under a singular umbrella that's looking specifically at turning around the population patterns and the population decline that St. Louis is seeing. Because one thing Ness told me is that Cincinnati at one point put together a list of the cities that they want to surpass. And St. Louis is one of them. And we're now the number 23rd largest metro area by population in the country, but we were in the top 20 as recently as like 3 years ago. And fast growth, high growth cities like Orlando and Charlotte in particular bypass St. Louis. But what's interesting about Cincinnati is it's not one of those places. It's not a place you necessarily think of high growth. But it really has taken a concerted, focused, and committed effort by all parts of that region to say we're all in for growth. And we're not quite there yet here.
And I know that Greater STL is supposed to be taking charge of this, but they're more of a business thing. How do you get people to move here? How do you get people to live downtown? We are very spread out. Very spread out.
Well,
you look at all. I'm downtown Indianapolis, and they got steakhouses on every corner. Where are all of our great steakhouses? Well, they're in Clayton for some reason.
Well, I think we ought to do the Bring Steak Back campaign.
Yeah, right?
It's what's for dinner downtown.
So, it's a good point, and I think there's a lot of momentum building downtown, but it's project by project.
Yeah,
we know there's SLDC wants to take over the Railway Exchange building at some point and bring a developer on. We know Cordish is taking on the Millennium Hotel with the help of the Gateway Arch Park Foundation. We know there's a developer with an eye on AT&T Tower downtown. So those are tackling some of the big, long-standing problems in downtown. But, is there a framework, an idea for knitting that all together, for making sure they all come online and there's demand for what they're putting on the market? Is there an idea for what a vision is for what that experience should be like? I've had some conversations recently with the new CEO of Explore St. Louis, Brad Dean, who about the idea that I personally think St. Louis's history can be part of a storytelling experience.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to go downtown into the different parts and have kind of a coordinated set of signage or connectivity, and somehow that tells the story of St. Louis while you're here and can connect you to the next place and to the next place. We've got such a great story here to tell in St. Louis in terms of history, and that's enough to make you sort of get a sense of place just by knowing where you are and what happened there.
Yeah. A much longer conversation about the rebirth of downtown and how it's going, but that's why we kind of have you on every week, Eric, because that as things come up, you can talk to us about it. The region still has plenty to shout about, and Boeing being one of them. There's contracts to build the next, airplanes. What did I say? I quoted somebody from Boeing, and their title was, warplane expert or something.
Right.
It was pretty wild, but we're building military aircraft here in St. Louis if we could get the machinists to go back to work.
Yeah, and so there's been some developments on that today. Of course, last week I was on, and right at the moment when we learned that the mediation session between Boeing and the union just sort of deteriorated, and the union called it a waste of time. A day later, to our surprise, they came back with a contract offer from Boeing to put before the rank and file, and the local union leadership was urging the rank and file to approve it. And then come Friday, they said no. The third contract, the rank and file machinists rejected. So that kind of leaves us in this sort of continuing sort of question. Boeing continues to say that it's going to start the process for hiring replacement workers. I don't exactly know what that means or what that looks like, but we're digging into it. And so today, in a pretty unusual step, at least something I didn't see coming, the Boeing machinists, the union itself, put together a contract proposal on their own volition and got their membership to they're going to have their own membership on Friday vote on their strike settlement proposal. And then they're going to present that, if it passes, to Boeing leadership. This time with the idea that, hey, here's a proposal we like that our union has already ratified. If you guys agree to it, we're back to work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, rather than going through mediation or having the company lead the charge, the union is coming forward with a agreement and hoping to get sign off from their members to, approve it in advance.
That's an interesting tactic. We'll go back to work. All you got to do is say yes to the agreement, and we'll see if they do that. Here's the title: Vice President of Air Dominance.
Oh yeah, that's right. Air Dominance.
Gosh.
That's what they call that division, Air Dominance. It's evocative. You very do. Of course, a commercial airline could also be. We're the most dominant commercial airline.
Well, true, but it sounds tougher than that, Eric.
It does sound a little tougher.
I told Bob I would print off 100,000 business cards and just hand them out to everybody. And then
you guys could be Air Dominance.
Yeah,
we could.
Yeah,
I think we are.
Vice President, though? I don't know. I don't know if I'm up there.
I say embrace it. I say embrace it.
Schnucks is a huge grocer here in town, and they just bought 51 grocery stores in Wisconsin. Schnucks is a really big regional grocery chain, and I don't think we realize that.
They are, and this is a different kind of deal. I think when we've seen Schnucks buy a competitor, they rebrand them as a Schnucks stores. And this time it's different. They're buying a family-owned chain of groceries in the Wisconsin area under several brands: Festival Foods, Hometown Grocers, a whole bunch of sort of one-off individual local grocery stores that had their own names, like Bob's Quality Market and stuff like that. And they're just going to kind of be the parent company for them. They've created a whole new unit called 1939 Group that will be kind of a holding company for all the Schnuck brands and all these new brands. And they want them to continue to exist under their own names in their current market. So they're not going in there, at least initially, and trying to disrupt the community with, changing the name and the style of the place that they all buy their food.
Well, that's interesting, a little bit surprising, but then when you kind of look at how Schnucks has always branded themselves, friendliest stores in town, all that hometown
shop
local, that sort of makes sense. And I, without being a businessman, I sort of have an appreciation for that tactic.
Well, and, the company they're buying was founded by the Scogan family in Wisconsin and has a similar set of values, similar track record, decades of leadership of the same family. And Todd Schnuck, in a statement, CEO Todd Schnuck, in a statement, said that they're just honored to be entrusted with that family's legacy. So that does fall right in line with that company's ethos. And really, St. Louis, I think maybe a lot of locals don't have the perspective, but St. Louis is really unique in that our two primary grocery store chains are local family-owned operations. In most American cities, they are Kroger or they
Albertsons.
are a Publix, which is in multiple states. They're they're a Safeway or an Albertsons, which are now the same thing. So that says one thing about the uniqueness of what we've got here, but also in terms of acquisition targets for Schnucks. As that consolidation continues, I have to imagine there aren't that many possible acquisition targets for that company because so many metro areas are part of corporate chain grocery. And those aren't going to likely split off pieces of their assets and sell it to a regional grocer. Yeah. They've already done all the acquiring of regional grocers. So Schnucks managed to find a partner within the edge of their existing region that had similar values and similar business model and similar styles, and add it to their portfolio.
Do we know how many states Schnucks is currently in? I was talking to Bob. I know a guy that goes to Evansville, Indiana. Is that what it is?
To another Schnucks.
Yeah.
So I imagine the way Eric set this up is that your buddy then wouldn't be assigned to go to Wisconsin, that they'll do their own thing still.
Yeah. Huh.
Right. I don't know off the top of my head exactly how many states are in. It is not a large number, but it's probably more than we realize. But it's not a large number. They really are regional.
Yeah.
in matter of fact, I think it's even like there must be a demarcation point, like when you drive between here and Chicago, where you might see the last Schnucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not even like they're all that interwoven within the communities. I mean, same with Kansas City. At some point, you're going to get into Price Chopper out there, and some of those other brands' territories. So they are, a really unusual sort of, and the same with Dierberg's, very unusual in the sense that they own this market with the exception of Walmart, which is everywhere, and that everybody has to compete with. But for the majority of the outside of that, they are that company and Dierberg's just have this real close connection here that is really unusual.
Yeah, and it's always strange when you see. I think when I was living in U City, there was a Pete's. And there's no independent grocery stores.
Yeah, it actually was very odd. LeGrand's Market is a tomboy, and but it's so weird to see that. It's almost like going back in time.
Yeah, it really is.
There are still some places that I think in Georgia you can still get to a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Which is one of the greatest grocery store names of all time.
Ever.
Yeah. According to the St. Louis Business Journal article, Schnucks operates 113 stores. So that's a lot of stores, and they just increased it by 51.
And I'm very proud that at one time I was a bagger at Schnucks, and I think they probably built their empire on my back.
They always say, Tom always says, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Bob.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Eric Seamers, St. Louis Business Journal, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Talk to you next week.
All right, some backups on 70 in our radio listening area. Captain Paul, how's it looking?
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. More heat on the way. A low of 66 is pretty mild in the morning, though, but it heats up quickly. A high of 92 under mostly sunny skies. Not overly humid, so there's no heat index, but it's hot again for Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 93. Temperatures will back down to the 80s Friday into the weekend with a chance for a few showers and storms. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things, uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Everybody loves good barbecue, and everybody wants to know where the next great barbecue place is. And if you're looking for an overnight sensation, it's only taken them 10 years. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery, Woods Mill and Clayton Road. There is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station, in the back, for 10 years, some of the best barbecue in town. Bring a friend and spread the word. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Don't forget about the bakery. 3baybarbecueandbakery.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Windows specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a banner day.
Country Club Car Wash is the best car wash in town. How do I know? I have an unlimited monthly pass to Country Club Car Wash, and it's fantastic. They're touchless, and you get free vacuums at select locations. Each and every day on the morning show, we will be giving away one free Country Club Car Wash to the text of the day. And each week, we'll be giving away a grand prize, 1 month of free Country Club Car Washes to the text of the week. We'll see you on the show, and we'll see you at Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com.
The big, beautiful tax bill just passed. Do you know how these changes will affect your financial plan? What changes has your financial advisor made to take advantage of these opportunities before they expire? Join me, Kevin Lloyd, for my next tax workshop, 314-641-1010. Learn how these changes can benefit you and your family. 314-641-1010.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPLA, registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $3,000. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by Oakville Equipment for a test drive to see their full line of Kubota tractors. You can also visit them at oakvilleequipment.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
We're going to chat with Royal Oakes from ABC News, their legal analyst, here in a second to talk about the Luigi Mangione trial and what's next for Charlie Kirk's assassin. But first, here's an interesting story out of Italy. A couple from the United Kingdom had to cut their vacation to Venice short after being caught swimming in the Grand Canal. The 35-year-old British man and his 25-year-old Romanian girlfriend were forced to return to their home in the UK on Thursday, the same day that they arrived in the city, because I guess they stepped off the train and immediately jumped in the canal. 1,100 sanctions have been handed down to badly behaved tourists in the city so far this year. 10 were for swimming in the canals.
How about that?
I guess I didn't realize you weren't allowed to swim in the canals.
Swimming in the Venice canals is prohibited for a variety of reasons, Connor, including the intense boat traffic.
Sure.
And the cleanliness or lack thereof of the water.
For your own safety, yeah.
Ugh.
I bet it's gross.
Yuck. Poor visitor behavior is one of the worst byproducts of over-tourism, say the people of Venice. In 2024, last year, an Australian man was fined and expelled for diving off the Rialto Bridge into the Grand Canal. The year before that, 2 French tourists were fined and expelled for skinny dipping in the moonlight.
Well, that seems like fun. That's good fun.
In August of 22, a German man was fined and expelled for surfing in the canal.
Now that's clever.
Come on,
You
guys.
gotta give him some credit for creativity.
So many stories, though, about tourism in Venice and how they are trying to charge more, trying to ban the big boats from stopping there and dumping off 5,000 people at once.
Well, just shut it down for a while. No tourists.
I can't believe anybody lives there. It's a tiny island.
What do they gain from that?
What, from stopping the tourists?
Stopping tourists.
Well, the people that live there gain from it.
At this point, like, that is what keeps Venice
afloat.
As it were.
Pardon the pun. But, it's like a tourist location.
Oh,
I would say most, if not all of the jobs would be seriously impacted if tourism stopped. Like if they said no more tourists. Certain places aren't that way. There's a lot of people that live there, and it's not as much of a tourist spot. But that is certainly a tourist spot,
I got to imagine if you live in Venice, you can afford to live somewhere else if you wanted to.
Well, you don't think there are rich, middle class, and lower class?
I don't think there's lower class people that live in Venice.
You think there's a guy that gets up for like a 9 to 5?
Yeah, in Venice.
In Venice?
Yeah.
I just don't.
I
don't think so.
Well, who's taking the garbage?
They probably come in
Right in
from
the water.
other islands.
Hence the law.
Yeah.
You've tied a bow on
That's
the whole
why it's
story.
so gross. And did you see this story? This is from a week or so ago. Publishers Clearinghouse declared bankruptcy. And so all the people that won and they get, $5,000 a week forever will no longer receive their checks.
They don't have no money.
It's $260,000 per year. And they say since Publishers Clearinghouse filed for bankruptcy, 10 former renters of Forever Prizes will no longer get their payments. One guy complained and said, hey, I haven't worked in 10 years because of this. No one's going to hire me. Well, somebody will hire you, I'm sure. And some people have said that they plan to leave a bunch of money to their kids, but they're not going to get it anymore because of the bankruptcy. Publishers Clearinghouse was bought by another company who plans to continue running new contests, but they say they're only going to be the future winners and not the 10 people or so who are left on the hook. I don't even know what Publishers Clearinghouse does.
Well, it's a clearinghouse.
What is that?
No, I don't know either, but they're the ones clearing the house.
Yeah. I mean, they used to sell magazines, right? But nobody buys magazines anymore. It is 4:49 coming up next. Royal Oaks is going to join us. Maybe he knows what Publishers Clearinghouse did. But in the meantime, Captain Paul has got our traffic update. Royal Oaks legal analyst with ABC News. There's two stories that we're talking about today, and Bob texted me earlier and said, let's get somebody on to talk about Luigi Mangione. Judge dismisses 2 state murder charges and a charge of terrorism. Royal, what's the latest on this one?
Yeah, what's happening is that the state judge in New York has dismissed the terrorism-related murder charges, murder 1 and murder 2. And the reason is the judge has heard the evidence that the prosecution has, and the judge is saying, this sounds like old-fashioned murder, not terrorism-related murder. For it to be terrorism, you have to be trying to intimidate the population or coerce a civilian population or influence government policy. So, it doesn't go over very well to most people who hear, but, this guy who allegedly was just a monster going up and shooting somebody in the back of the head, it's on video and so on. So why are you dropping the charges? But, that's the judge's position. You can go after him for murder, but you can't go after him for terrorism-related murder.
So, Royal, and I don't know the terminology, will they, so forgive me, I know it sounds dumb, will they get regular first-degree murder without the terrorism? Yeah. Is that what they'll go for?
Great question, and it's not dumb at all because it's really confusing. I'm based in Los Angeles, and in California, we have murder 1 and murder 2, and it has nothing to do with terrorism in general. It's just murder 1 is you intended to kill, murder 2 is you didn't intend to kill, but you knew darn well it probably would happen. That's not the way they do it in New York. In New York, murder 1 is reserved for the worst of the worst capital punishment type crimes, whereas murder 2 in New York is a situation where it's just what most people understand murder to be. Somebody premeditated it, they intended to kill, and then they did kill.
Interesting.
All right, well, let's move on to the other story today. The Tyler Robinson, the young man who killed Charlie Kirk last week. What is the latest on this? They're asking for the death penalty.
Yeah, they are, and that's because there are 2 grounds under Utah law to ask for the death penalty. One of them is where it is a situation where you put other people at risk in addition to the person you killed. And what the prosecutors are saying is this guy with a high-powered rifle from 200 yards away, he knew that he was putting other people at risk in addition to Charlie Kirk. Now, nobody else was hurt, but they might have been, and that is enough under Utah law. The second is a more controversial ground for the death penalty in Utah. That's where if you shoot a political person, a public official. Now, Charlie Kirk was not an elected official, but his life was intertwined with politics, and as a result, prosecutors at this point are going to be pushing for that as a second independent ground for the death penalty, because what was going on here is they're saying it's functionally equivalent to shooting an elected official when you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk, because he was kind of a surrogate for people who shared his political views.
Yeah, so what do you think the final charges will be, and what would be the counterpoint of his defense, you think?
The defense is going to say, first of all, as to putting somebody else at risk, this guy was a sharpshooter. He knew what he was doing. Nobody was, within several feet of Charlie Kirk. There's no way anybody else really was at risk. The second argument they would make as to the political angle is the one I was suggesting. They're going to say, hey, read the statute. He wasn't a public official. He was a private individual talking about things of interest to public officials. So that's going to be the pushback there in Utah.
Hey, Royal, I've long said that if you open fire in public, regardless of who you're shooting at and why, you should be slapped with a terrorism charge. Speaking of terrorism, you had a whole bunch of people scrambling for their lives. Maybe in the future they won't attend events like this because of the trauma caused the last time. How come that doesn't get more play?
Yeah, I think the judges would see that as just too much of a stretch. They probably would be sympathetic to that New York judge's position, which is, look, there's an accepted definition of terrorism. It isn't just something where people are traumatized, a certain number, a small number of people who were involved in the incident or bystanders or witnesses. Terrorism is where you are sending a message to the entire population. We want you to be scared. We want your public officials to take certain actions that we like, or else they're going to have another, dirty bomb blow up in some city. So I think that's the answer that the judges would probably use if somebody tried to advance that argument.
And so in your experience, because I know every state is different, do you think this will be, and it's all relatively quick indictments and charges, indictments, and to trial, or do you think this will stretch out for a long period of time?
It should go pretty quickly. I mean, the prosecution, the politicians who are promoting and supporting the idea of the prosecution, they want justice quickly. They don't want the voters to see this as dragging on. From the defense standpoint, anything they can do to try to put it off, to put off the day of reckoning, somehow magically come up with some evidence that would support the defense, that's going to be their incentive. I mean, think back a few months ago to that Brian Koberger case where the guy has admitted that he killed those 4 students. That happened years ago, and the reason it happened years ago is because his defense lawyers are really good at slogging through and raising motions and seeking continuances and changes of venue and so on. So, yeah, I mean, traditionally the defense wants to slow it down, and who knows, in the Charlie Kirk case and in the New York case, who knows whether the defense will have some ammunition with which to try to slow things down. We don't know yet.
All right, Royal Oakes from ABC News, thank you so much for joining us and giving us an update on both of these cases.
You bet. Thanks.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain. I don't have the...
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Not just talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at STLMedWeightLoss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it too, hey, I get it. The economy, what we just had, guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call STLMedWeightLoss.com and ask Dr. Joe. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Holland America Line and Altair Travel proudly present On Stage Alaska, a captivating and informative live presentation. The Great Land is brought to life as a team of Alaska experts share their passion for the 49th state. On Stage Alaska, here for a limited engagement on Tuesday, September 23rd at Altair in Brentwood at 6:30 p.m. To register for this free event, call Altair at 314-968-9600 or online at altairtravel.com. On Stage Alaska at Altair Travel.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Electricity is very important because if you don't have electricity, you're sitting in the dark in more ways than one. And when the lights go out for one last time, maybe, just maybe, you want a whole home generator. Well, that's where Michael Baldy comes in because Michael Baldy can do that. He's putting in a whole home generator for a friend of mine on the hill. Whether you live on the hill or a brand new home, at some point you're going to need some electrical help, and that's where Michael Baldy comes in. He's been an electrician since 1996, and he has a full team of electricians who will help you every single step of the way, whether it's a whole home generator, maybe some extra plugs for the Christmas lights, maybe it's something in the basement, something in the attic, maybe the garage. Doesn't matter. Whether it's an old Victorian home or a brand new commercial building, indoor or out, Michael Baldy, the electrician, has got to be on your phone. Put him on your speed dial, 314-968-9999. 314-968-9999. You can thank me later. Michael Baldy, BaldyElectric.com.
News, weather, traffic, sports, and live local talk. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Ladue, Glen Carbon, University City, Edwardsville, Manchester, Wood River, Grafton, Collinsville, Pacific, and the world.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
From Depend on it.
I'm Michelle Franzen. Utah prosecutors detailing charges against the suspect in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson appeared virtually at a hearing today. He's facing 7 counts, including aggravated murder.
To the jail, are we ready to proceed?
Wearing no T-shirt and only a green protective vest, Tyler Robinson sat remotely listening to the Utah County judge and responded only briefly.
Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
The judge finding Robinson is indigent and the county will provide him an attorney. The judge ruling Robinson is to be held without bail ahead of his next hearing later this month and approved a protective order for Charlie Kirk's wife. Prosecutors told the judge they have filed for the death penalty.
We did file just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Alex Stone, ABC News.
President Trump is in the UK for a historic second state visit with the British royal family. He'll meet with King Charles and also with the UK's Prime Minister to fine-tune a trade deal. ABC's Mary Bruce is in London.
This is a chance for the UK to use these kinds of pageants as a diplomatic tool. And it comes, of course, as the UK is also hoping that they can encourage the U.S. to continue to keep up the fight for Ukraine. And also a chance to talk about the economy as the UK continues to face President Trump's tariffs. Those are all things that will be in the agenda on Thursday when the president sits down here with the Prime Minister.
In Minneapolis, at least 13 people have been wounded, authorities say. 5 are in critical condition in 2 separate shootings at homeless encampments. The city's mayor says he would not be surprised if they turn out to be connected. Actor Robert Redford has died. The California native was known for his work with both in front of and behind the camera over the years, starring in Barefoot in the Park and also Butch Cassidy in The Sundance Kid. His directorial debut earned him an Oscar for Ordinary People. Robert Redford was 89. You're listening to ABC News.
Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Alliance is rebranding to Reese Nichols, a Missouri-born real estate company established 125 years ago. The same trusted agents who've served St. Louis for 45 years now have the backing of Missouri's most trusted brokerage. With offices across the metro and in-house mortgage, title, and insurance, Reese Nichols makes your move seamless. They proudly support the Ronald McDonald House, raising over $1.5 million for Missouri families. Visit ReeseNichols.com to learn more.
I don't know of anybody who hasn't been to Milo's. Located in the heart of the hill across from St. Ambrose Church, family-owned Milo's helps anchor the neighborhood. Here's owner Joe Valmer on what makes Milo's so iconic.
The secret to success at Milo's is that, and I'll be very honest with you, it's my wife, Susie. This is the way you do things. This is the way how you treat people. We treat them like family. That's why we've had employees for so long. And when people come in, they feel that. When you come in, we want to make it like your home. You're going to feel like there's no better place to be.
For great food, a great patio experience with the best bocce in town, visit Milo's Bocce Garden. And Milo's is available for private parties online at milosboccegarden.com.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants. The cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at SimplySecureDentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or SimplySecureDentures.com.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
93 degrees at 5:04 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. This is Farm Safety Week in the state of Illinois. Farming is one of the most dangerous employment sectors in the U.S. economy, with over 500 fatalities every year nationwide. Most of these deaths are caused by tractor accidents. State Representative Charlie Meyer, who is also a farmer, says motorists need to exercise extra caution when approaching or passing a farm vehicle.
And for all the farmers out there, take that extra minute, take that extra 20 seconds to think about what you're ready to do and make sure it's safe. I've lost too many friends over the years to farming accidents, and I don't want to lose any more.
Illinois Farm Safety Week runs through Sunday and will be recognized in Missouri next week. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is proposing Fort Leonard Wood as a potential ICE agent training facility. Hawley sent a letter to the Department of Homeland Security promoting the fort as a potential training spot for new ICE agents. The St. Louis Police Explorers are looking for new members with an event tonight. Anyone between the ages of 14 and 20 with an interest in law enforcement is eligible to apply. The Explorers meet weekly and receive training from active and retired police officers on topics including traffic stops and conflict resolution. Tonight's event begins at 6 o'clock at the 5-Star Senior Center on Arsenal Street. Settlement money from the class action lawsuit against Facebook will be mailed out soon, and we're learning how much Facebook users can expect.
More than 2 years after Facebook reached a $725 million settlement to pay millions of users for selling their personal information, those payouts are finally starting, and we're learning how much they can expect. The average payment will be $29.43, with a maximum payout of $38.26 and a minimum amount of $4.89. The longer you use Facebook, the larger your portion of the settlement. But as with any large class action lawsuit, there will be scammers. If you've been approved for a payment, you'll receive an email from Facebook User Privacy Settlement Administrator with the email address do not reply at facebookuserprivacysettlement.com. Anything else is a scam. If you didn't submit a claim, it's too late. The deadline ended in August of 2023. Sobey Bay, KTRS News.
And the Missouri Department of Conservation is offering a cooking in nature class at Rockwoods Reservation in Wildwood. The free class will run Thursday from 11:30 a.m. until 1 o'clock and will teach the basics of cooking outdoors. It's open to all ages, and those planning to attend are asked to pre-register on the MDC website. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter & Old Florist, the place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. The Wentzville General Motors plant will experience temporary layoffs. That's according to the plant's executive director and union chairman, who say the plant will experience temporary layoffs between September 29th and October 19th. They say the cause of the layoffs relates to the availability of parts. And now a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow down 125 points to 45,758. NASDAQ down 5 at 22,343. And the S&P 500 down 8 at 6,606. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Meep, meep. We're looking for clear skies tonight, an overnight low around 65, sunny tomorrow with a high of 93. At 5:09, sunshine, 93 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years. And their message has remained the same all these 20 years. Make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told them I was well schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best price. They'll work with your insurance company to make sure you get the claim you deserve to fix it and fix it right. Roofing, siding, gutters, all storm damage. John Beal Roofing will take care of it. Keep it local and keep it John Beal. Keep it in the family for 20-plus years. John Beal Roofing, 1-800-NEW-ROOF or johnbealroofing.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Connor's jumping the gun on this song. When is the 21st?
It's this Sunday, so
it's on Sunday.
We won't be here to play it.
Okay. All right, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow
Great
it.
song. You can play it again on Friday, Josh. I'm sure you will.
I'll play it again on Friday if I can remember. U.S. and China are meeting in Madrid right now to talk about trade, and they have said that they have a framework deal for TikTok. Tom, I know that you're very concerned about what's going to happen to your TikTok and all of your followers.
It's on every every waking moment. I'm concerned.
It's a huge story because the question is, what are they going to value this thing at? The original deal was that TikTok can continue on in the United States if China sold it to someone else other than themselves. Right now, China basically owns TikTok, and they own everything else in China, or they at least have access to it. So the idea was TikTok has to sell to a third party outside of China for it to still work in the United States. Well, what are you going to value? If Elon Musk paid $40 billion for Twitter, TikTok seems to be worth double that. Oracle executive chairman Larry Ellison, who at one point last week was the richest man in the world, then Elon
at one point.
Later on in the day, Elon overtook him again to take that spot. But Larry Ellison, whose son just bought Paramount and CBS, Larry Ellison is being touted as one of the persons who are going to buy TikTok. So I think the only time I ever use TikTok is when someone sends me a talk to look at.
I wait for the ticks.
Well,
yeah, I don't. It's not a shock that I don't participate.
Speaking of ticks,
but let me ask you a question because you guys know more. I don't know anything about it. With the change of ownership, does it mean that all the functions of TikTok will remain the same, or do the Chinese have any proprietary ownership of content and the way it's made and how it works technically?
From what I read, it seemed like all that stays the same.
Okay.
Which was the problem in the first place. So I do wonder why this is a deal at all.
Here's my question. Why are we supposed to believe that China is going to, okay, great, we just sold it to somebody else, it's, wipe our hands clean of it?
Well, they're not saying they're wiping their hands clean of it.
So what's the deal?
Well, that's my question.
Yeah. I don't believe China is ever going to relinquish TikTok, or at least all the information they get from it. It might look on the outside as if they had, but I don't think they ever will.
They're inscrutable.
Right? Well, so's any enemy of the United States. I think China would be in that category currently. You mentioned ticks, as in TikToks. Is jumping in a leaf pile, is that a safe activity to do?
Well, there's always a danger of there's a rock or a stake or something underneath the pile.
Well, Mental Floss has compiled a safe way of jumping into a pile of leaves.
Have your buddy go first.
Well, number one, let somebody else do it. Beware of hidden creatures, especially ticks. They say with the warming climate, deer ticks have increased in the Northeast. And
how do you beware? You're either jumping in or you're not. You're not going to go through and clean them.
You got to tuck your pants into your socks.
Ah, okay.
Tuck your sleeves into your gloves, and then do a thorough tick check after you get out of the pile of leaves.
Okay.
They also mentioned don't jump on a bunch of leaves if you don't know what's underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think for leaf jumping, at least in my experience, you've created the pile yourself.
You should know.
You're not just walking up to a random pile of leaves and saying, you know what?
Let's jump in.
Yeah. Caution to the wind. Let me dive head first into
the
this
fun out of leaf jumping, all these rules.
I agree.
I got to tuck my sleeves into my gloves. I got
tell you what.
to thoroughly inspect the leaf pile.
Cartoons and television and all the comic books and everything, they've all made leaf jumping look fun. It's not that great. It's not that great.
Okay.
You can't really swim in it like you see in the...
Yeah.
You jump into the leaves.
You jump into the...
Dogs have much more fun in the leaf pile than people.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, that was it. Huh.
You don't need to swim. What is...
No,
it's not like Scrooge McDuck swimming through
the money bin.
The money...
Swimming through...
A rare Scrooge McDuck reference here on the show.
And then
that's what you're imagining, right?
And then all the kids would try to do it, and they would jump in and bonk their heads.
Yeah.
Because apparently Scrooge is the only one who knew how to do it properly. Speaking of the weather and the holiday season, pumpkin spice searches hit an all-time high last week.
One of the Spice Girls.
Yeah, pumpkin spice. Florida and New Mexico are Googling pumpkin spice the most.
Florida.
And
New Mexico.
Apparently, there's pumpkin spice floor cleaner, toilet paper, pumpkin spice scented trash bags.
I wonder, is Florida and New Mexico two completely different climates? Maybe pumpkins don't grow there, and they desire them because they're hard to get.
Maybe. Isn't Illinois, as a state?
Big pumpkin.
Big pumpkin, yeah. That's where the most pumpkins come from, is Illinois.
Don't cross big pumpkin.
Do you guys drink the pumpkin spice latte?
No.
The PSL?
No, my wife does, though. She really likes it.
I'll drink a couple this season.
I'm not big on I'm not big on the pumpkin spice fill in the blank, although I love pumpkin pie.
What is pumpkin spice?
That's all it is, though.
Yeah.
So you should like all the pumpkin spice stuff.
Yes,
but
that's what's so confounding.
There's a weird line
disconnect.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
What is pumpkin spice? Is it cinnamon?
Yeah,
is it nutmeg?
Cinnamon, all of those.
They call it allspice. Like if you go to the store, you pick up the allspice, and it's a mixture of vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg.
Yeah, I don't really think regular pumpkin is that tasty. It's all about the spices and the vanilla.
Does anybody eat regular pumpkin? People bake the seeds.
It's so gross.
Yeah, right?
When you cut up. Have you and Finn done the carving yet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's disgusting.
And you pull the stuff
it's
out.
Gross.
Does he like doing the stuff? I never liked doing it.
No, me neither.
I never liked doing it. I was like, this is it's a mess. It's gross.
Oh, I think it's fun. You put the stencil on and you kind of carve it.
No, that's fine.
I'm a freestyler.
All the work.
Oh, pulling
getting all the guts out and scraping it so it's...
Yeah.
I was like, this is so much work.
I would freestyle with the kids. We'd draw on there, draw the face, and then cut along.
And then cut along them.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
It's fun.
Yeah,
you're going to get your hands dirty though.
Yeah,
but people eat gourds. People eat, what's in the pumpkin family? Squash.
I like a squash.
Is there pumpkin soup? Squash soup, right?
Do we have anyone pumpkin soup?
Anybody have sliced pumpkin on the side of their
Woods Basement System text line 84126?
Well, you got like squash, which is essentially the same food.
Right.
But do they actually do pumpkin soup?
I've never seen it.
I gotta correct you here, Josh. Allspice is just one spice.
Is it
a different thing?
Oh,
it's not.
It's a misdirection. It's not all.
It's
one.
It's not a mixture of other spices. It's its own thing.
I think Maha should get on that, and Truth in Advertising, all spice labels should say one spice.
Yeah, if we've got to regulate the drug companies.
It's one spice.
And then finally, for 'tis the season, Costco in Florida already has Christmas decorations up. Is it too early?
Yes.
Technically, summer is here until September 22nd. So next Monday, the day after the 21st of September, there's 3 months of fall. Winter doesn't start until December or something, late December. They've got Christmas displays up at a Costco in Royal Palm Beach, Florida, with Halloween candy just the next aisle over. Is it too early?
Yes.
This
I mean, it's not even, I don't even see how it's
I mean,
debate.
Josh, you're about to tell us you're putting your Halloween decorations up.
This weekend. I'm out of town on Sunday and yesterday. I come home. There's a bunch more pumpkins, a couple more skeletons than when I left. And she said, this is my wife, she said, this is the weekend, this upcoming weekend.
I think it's a tad early, but I'd prefer you wait. I'd prefer you wait till the 1st of October. But you're going to be that guy. That's okay.
I'm putting it up at the 20th.
Yeah, the 1st should
actually
be
late.
Should be the 1st, and then the day after Halloween, Thanksgiving stuff goes up, and then the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas stuff goes up.
I got to be honest with you.
Bing, bang, boom.
If I was in town this past weekend, it would have gone up on Sunday.
Yeah, I think
it would be up currently.
I have a real problem with that.
You got to get the big skeleton.
The 12-foot one?
The 12-footer. No. Then I'll support it.
Oh, that thing is like, I think it's like $500.
You're in radio. You're rolling in dough.
No, I don't think so. Somebody on the text line, Sam's, has had Christmas stuff up for about a month.
Now, there is something to be said for getting early price savings. But the traditional, you go down the aisle, Christmas songs are playing, and there's Santa stuff are in the house and ornaments and all. And no, we got to wait. We got to wait.
I draw a line at Christmas. Christmas has to wait until November 1st.
But Halloween doesn't.
November 1st.
November 1st?
What happened to Thanksgiving? I remember a year ago when you were putting up your Christmas decorations, and it was like November 5th. It was
It was the second weekend of November.
You don't do Thanksgiving decorations then?
No. Well, no. The pumpkins and stuff will stay out. The scary stuff will go back in the basement. It'll be a mixture of Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
Today, the Menards in West County was stocking the Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
The giant skeleton, Josh, goes for $300.
See, what a
Home
bargain.
Depot.
It's a bargain.
So really, I mean,
Bob, finish the show.
You're saving money.
I've got to
run out and get a skeleton.
Run out to the Costco.
Get the 12-foot giant skeleton.
Someone says pumpkin soup is big in Jamaica. Okay. Do they grow pumpkins there? Do they have to import them?
I don't know.
Veterinarians prescribe canned pumpkin for dogs.
No way.
I'll have to ask about that.
Connor does the animal show on Sundays. We'll have to ask Dr. Dan about that. Let's see here. The pumpkin seeds inside, you wash them in a strainer and let them dry a little bit. Put them in the microwave and dry them out. They are the best tasting pumpkin seeds you've ever had.
I've had roasted. Like you have to put them in the oven and you roast them.
Salty, right?
You kind of salt them
a
little bit. And
yeah, those are okay.
And then somebody from the 618, I have friends and neighbors who have had Halloween decorations up for several weeks. Now, in my neighborhood, it's starting to be piecemeal. We're huge on Halloween. The lady that really does her house up, she's already got a witch out front. Just one, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Another house over by Finn's school, we're dropping them off. We got real excited. They're all done up. Like, it's ready.
Yeah.
So
I don't get it.
I feel like a Johnny-come-lately if I don't put them up.
I don't get it.
Any skeletons?
What?
Any 12-foot skeletons in the neighborhood?
No, not yet. Not yet, but you know what's coming. You know what else is coming? We're going to talk sports with Brendan Weesey. Big Mizzou weekend, even though we played I think they made 2 completions total, Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah, Mizzou went roughshod over the Cajuns.
But at least we started to get a pretty good look at what our SEC competition looks like. So we'll talk to Brendan about that. And I've got a really fun story, sports-related, that I want to talk to Bob and Brendan about. We will go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll hit traffic and talk to Brendan about sports.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up first in 5 things, uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mo.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Let's talk about high school for just a moment, because that young man you brought home from the hospital yesterday, you're going to blink your eyes, and all of a sudden now you start talking about high schools. Well, that's where St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School comes in, because it's an all-boys, independent Catholic high school. And what St. Mary's will do is they will prepare your son to be the future. Whether it's college, trade work, or a career of their choice, St. Mary's, over the years, has produced a whole lot of millionaires and a couple of billionaires along the way. And when you graduate from St. Mary's, you have that alumni as a resource. Schedule your visit today and find out more about St. Mary's. stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com. They will teach the skills that are needed to thrive and survive in the 21st century, as well as teaching old school values. To find out more, stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com.
The City of Wildwood invites you to join the celebration as it celebrates its 30th anniversary. Celebrate Wildwood will be Saturday, September 20th, kicking off with its parade at 10 a.m. and then followed by all-day activities with fun for the whole family. A large assortment of kids' activities for all ages, and for adults, a vendor market, food vendors, music and dancing, and the night wraps up with a spectacular fireworks show. For more information, go to cityofwildwood.com/celebrate Wildwood. Consider yourself invited.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep.
Captain Paul Kopsky has a look at our traffic today, and I think Brenna Weesey was stuck in it for a little bit coming back from Mizzou. Captain Paul, how's it look out there? All right, so speaking of Brendan Weese, he's going to join us on the phone here in just a second. But, Bob, I got to take you back to 2013.
All the way back there.
Okay. Mizzou is undefeated, inviting South Carolina to Faurot Field. If we win this game, probably be ranked number one, probably be, in line to possibly go to the national championship. But in second overtime, South Carolina rallies back, sends it to overtime, goes to second overtime, and I'm standing on the Big Rock M.
Were you really?
And I look up at a field goal, game-tying field goal.
In overtime?
In double overtime,
Okay.
Second overtime. And it bangs right off the upright. I could still hear it in my head today.
You're haunted by the moment.
South Carolina, University of South Carolina, located in Columbia, South Carolina. So it's the Battle of Columbia's. Brendan mentioned it's the Mayor's Cup. South Carolina really took the wind out of our sails again last year in a game that we should have won, but they, ripped off a 15-something yard run and ran it right in the end zone at the end of the game. Brendan, is South Carolina our biggest rival in the SEC?
Josh, how could you bring up that 2013 game?
Oh, because it's still, it lives in my heart.
What are you doing?
A tear went down his cheek as he was relating the story to me.
Oh, that is one of the worst games. I remember exactly where I was in the auxiliary press box at the Cardinals World Series game against the Red Sox.
Yeah,
that was the runner interference
with
game
Alan
where
Craig.
the Cardinals won that crazy walk-off, strangest World Series game I've ever seen, where it was like, hey, the Cardinals actually won, but the ball club didn't act like it.
Yeah,
and ultimately they'd end up losing the World Series. But
it's funny where you remember where you were. I watched both those games in a sports book, Caesar's Palace sports book in Vegas.
Oh wow!
No. Okay.
Wow.
And everybody's yelling and screaming in both games because people are winning and losing with each play.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Well, I lost a piece of my soul on that goalpost that game. But time for some fresh revenge, right, Brendan?
I think so, and I hope everybody really enjoys this Bo Prevula interview that they'll get to hear on Friday night. It basically cost me my entire Tuesday. The Paul Kopsky, Captain Paul speaking the gospel truth. I was stuck in that accident for the last 2 hours.
Oh my goodness!
But they started to divert the traffic off the highway, and so I took this little backdoor route. I'm now getting ready to pull into Westport.
Oh.
Pretty impressive, quite frankly. I'm pretty pleased with myself for finding the backdoor route away from Highway 70 to find my way back to what was ultimately Highway M, Highway 00, and Highway N.
Yep.
And Highway N turns into the Page extension. So here we go.
How about that? Who had Highway 00 on their bingo card today?
I did not. But I just wrote it today. But Bo Prevula will be with me on Friday nights. James Carlton, State Farm, Mizzou Game Plan Show, and real unassuming kid that is now kind of thrust into the limelight a little bit, right? He's a starting quarterback for the first time in his career. And the thing about how long he's been around, like he wasn't around that long at Penn State, but he was around long enough to graduate. He already graduated at Penn State, transferred into Mizzou, and I think you'll hear him on Friday, but the competition that he was in against Sam Horn during fall camp, that might really prove to be, a linchpin in getting him ready for college football as a starting quarterback, because he had never been put into that role before, but so far he looks like one of the most dynamic playmakers in all of college football. And, oh, by the way, he's got the nation's second leading rusher behind him as well in Ahmad Hardy.
And I've seen things, and, it's very early. We've only played 3 games, and 2 of them were fairly cupcake-esque, if not full-on cupcakes. but people are talking about Ahmad Hardy for Heisman.
Well, talk about Ahmad Hardy, talk about Bo. I mean, both, I think, at this point would be in the discussion. But like you said, they haven't really played anybody yet. Let's see what it looks like when they start taking on SEC competition, which begins on Saturday night. But if the numbers follow suit, like, let's be honest, Josh, Mizzou had games against subpar competition the last few years, and the offense didn't look good. So I don't care who these games are against. The fact that the offense is piling up yardage, piling up points, that matters. And I think it sets a trend for what's to come, especially with 3 more games at home. You get South Carolina, you get UMass on homecoming, then a bye week, and then Alabama. So this team's going to play 6 games before they ever see the road, and I think that's going to be instrumental in what kind of yardage and what kind of numbers they can put up over these next 3 weeks.
South Carolina's starting quarterback is going to be out this Saturday. Is that correct?
Well, unless something's changed in the last 3 hours while I was stuck in traffic, I mean, it's not definite. I think they're planning for Lenoris Sellers to play, and if he doesn't, well, that's probably good for Mizzou. But yeah, he got banged up in South Carolina's loss to Vanderbilt, and I certainly say he would be questionable for Saturday's game. But as of right now, as Coach Drink told us this afternoon, they're going to go ahead and assume he's going to play.
You guys both know how much I've praised Mizzou fans really embracing that SEC style of fan madness. I was shocked when after the game last weekend, Coach Drink talked about this game wasn't sold out. Is it sold out now?
It is sold out, yes.
Yeah,
out
very
today,
good.
Rammer.
Very good. It just kind of shocked me a little bit that there were tickets available. So I'm glad that the fans stepped up, and you need to really make it a madhouse.
Yeah, it was a little surprising that it wasn't sold out already, right? Because the Louisiana game sold out. Obviously, the KU game sold out. The opener against Central Arkansas sold out. It was probably just a handful of tickets available. But, yeah, they got gobbled up today.
Good.
And it's going to be fun. Mizzou hasn't played that many SEC opponents at night. I feel like that's something, Josh, that Mizzou fans clamor for. You're going to get it here on Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff against the Gamecocks. It'll be on ESPN. It is it's not going to be part of College Game Day, but nonetheless, it'll be a raucous atmosphere any way you cut it.
All right, I am really looking forward to this game. And then, like you said, we've got UMass and then a bye week, and then we play nothing but ranked opponents almost throughout the rest of the season. Brendan, I wanted to bring this up for you and Bob because you love golf. Brendan does. Bob, I don't know how big into horse racing you're into, but there was a horse over in Japan that was 29 years old, just passed away. But it was a national public figure over in Japan because Haru Urara is the horse's name, means glorious spring, raced 113 times in her career and never won once. And she became a national symbol of perseverance and tenacity. But my question is, it's outside of the Washington Generals, who lose to the Harlem Globetrotters every time they take the court. Are there people like in horse racing and auto racing? I mean, there's like 30 cars out there in auto racing. In golf, Brendan, are there people that have whole full careers and never win a thing?
Well, Brendan looked like it was going to be Tommy Fleetwood.
Right, exactly.
He just
Tommy
won.
Fleetwood never won. He just won a few weeks ago. I think whenever you've got an event like, a sport like golf where you can have up to 157 players, yeah, you're going to have guys that never quite get it done. I'm shocked. How old did you say the horse was?
29. As far as horse years go, it was 90 years old.
But 29 in human years?
Yes.
That seems really old.
It does. She hung in there pretty good.
Live that long usually?
Yeah, well, I mean, she retired in 2004. but
Okay.
113 races, no wins. Is that, do guys have golf careers where,
Well, in tennis, you look at tennis and guys are ranked 120th
huge
in
fields.
And you just play, but you're a pro. Doesn't matter.
All right. I was just very curious if there was just people out there that we've never known their names.
That's
They've
right.
lived their whole careers as professional athletes, and no one's ever heard of them because they always finish about 20th or so. All right. Well, Brendan, you make your way to the Big 550 KTRS. What do we got tonight? We've got the press box.
Got press box at 6, Tiger Talk at 7, Soccer in the Lou at 8. I have arrived. I am here. I'm mere feet away from you guys in the parking garage. What a day! But I do it. I do it for the listeners. I do it for you guys. We go on site, and it just costs us an entire afternoon of sitting on the highway. But what's that really?
Somebody on the text line said when we go out to Innsbruck, we take the MOON route, the moon
There
route.
you go. Yeah, it is. It's the moon route. Yeah, absolutely. Good call.
And someone else mentioned that they had a horse that lived 30 plus. So,
oh my gosh.
Hopefully they won more races than Haru Kuraru. All right. Thank you, Brendan. We'll see you tonight.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Rammer.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. More heat on the way. A low of 66 is pretty mild in the morning, though, but it heats up quickly. A high of 92 under mostly sunny skies. Not overly humid, so there's no heat index, but it's hot again for Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 93. Temperatures will back down to the 80s Friday into the weekend with a chance for a few showers and storms. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com. Royal Banks of Missouri is proud to sponsor the Battle of Columbia as the South Carolina Gamecocks travel to Columbia this Saturday to take on the Mizzou Tigers.
2 tacklers to the house in Missouri.
Don't miss all the action live here on the Big 550.
Pre-game starts at 4 p.m. with kickoff at 6 p.m.
And KTRS has full coverage all week on the Big Sports Show with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Lisi and the Press Box with Frank Cusimano.
Missouri delivers a counterpunch on the fake.
This is why the Big 550 is live, local, and the home for everything Mizzou. Proudly powered by Royal Banks of Missouri. Let's go Mizzou.
Kick off football season like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Other books may charge you just to get on the field, but with Circa Sports, every play is yours to call. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Zero is your hero at HW Kia. Zero down, zero payments for 90 days, or 0% for 48 months. Even zero tariff pricing on every clearly marked new HW Kia in stock. Stuck in your loan or lease? Big D, the trade man, wants to get you released. Up to 120% over fair market value for your trade. Have a job clearing $450 a week? You're practically approved. Only at HWKia.com. Unapproved credit not all qualify. Plus tax, title, license, 587, title, and registration process. Negative equity, refinance, and new loan. Expires September 6, 2025. Zero is your hero at HW Kia. Zero down, zero payments for 90 days, or 0% for 48 months. Even zero tariff pricing on every clearly marked new HW Kia in stock. Have a job clearing $450 a week? You're practically approved. Lease a new Seltos X, Nero LX, or Soul, just $99 a month. And you guessed it, zero security deposit. Only at HWKia.com. Unapproved credit not all qualify. Plus tax, title, license, 587, title, and registration process. Negative equity, refinance, and new loan. 24 months, 10,000 mile lease. 49.95 due. Offers not combination. Expires September 6, 2025.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You know, over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler, it's where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Get a little Hollywood news from Bob Ramsey.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about Robert Redford. His work meant a lot to me as a film goer, as a kid in the 60s and a teen in the 70s. So I put together, real quick, he grew up in Southern California, Van Nuys High School, played baseball on a partial scholarship at the University of Colorado, and drank his way out of the scholarship.
Oh, really?
And left school. Bummed around Europe for a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, came back to New York, went to art school, and somehow stumbled into acting school and ended up on Broadway.
Somehow stumbled into, I think when you look that good,
you get a shot.
Yeah, they find you.
You get a shot. So here are my top 10, and I think it's a pretty good list. And personal preference would allow people to shuffle around however they want. But I'm going to go Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Natural. Those are my top two, and I can't move them around. The rest you can shuffle as you see fit. 3 Days of the Condor, The Sting, Jeremiah Johnson, All the President's Men. Do you ever see The Candidate, either one of you?
No, but
next time there's an election season, watch The Candidate. It's really good.
But he's blowing the bubblegum bubble on the poster. They say the lapel pin with the American flag.
It's from that movie?
Someone like Haldeman or someone saw it and said that's a good look.
Huh.
And that's where, and now they all do it.
Barefoot in the Park, which was he had played the role on Broadway, and then when they made a film about it a few years later, he played Barefoot in the Park. One of my all-time favorites of his, even though I know it's not considered a great film at all, I get it. The Electric Horseman, and then the prison movie Brubaker. So those were all good. He did 5 films with Jane Fonda. I've seen them all. The one I didn't see was like in 2017 or 18, Our Souls at Night. You ever hear of that?
Mm-mm.
No. I need to watch it. So he and Jane Fonda in 5 movies together. 9 movies as a director. My favorite 3, Ordinary People, The Milagro Beanfield War, and A River Runs Through It. And I just, he was really, along with being a movie star and a director, filmmaker, he was also committed to many causes, including the environment. And while he really went into retirement a number of years ago, and you didn't see much of him, he really had a full life.
And I think now's the time for us to go back and start looking at all this stuff, maybe we talk to Max and see if we can't get a Robert Redford themed Max on Movies
he
for
can't
Thursday.
top my list.
I think we did.
I mean, at this point, we're just naming all the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I think
There's
we
a lot
covered the
more.
list.
There's some more.
There's
there
a
are
lot
some
more.
Yeah.
But we'll go out and we'll try to find out. I'm going to see if this Milagro Beanfield War movie is streaming anywhere.
You'd like it. It's cute.
Yeah.
I call it cute.
Oh, cute.
You want a couple birthdays, or are we done?
Sure, really quickly.
A couple birthdays.
Okay, boys. See what you can do here. Nick Jonas.
Oh, he is the youngest one. I bet he's 32.
33.
Bang, got it. 33.
All right.
He prices righted you.
Price is right.
One of my all-time favorites, Amy Poehler.
52.
Ooh, I like that guess. 54.
Bang, got it. We're dead even. All right, we go back to SNL. Molly Shannon.
Ooh, 60 even.
I was going to say 61.
Bang, 61.
Oh, man.
Holy cow. This is the last chance. You can end up with a tie. Here we go. Mickey Rourke. Fine actor. The Wrestler. He was unbelievable in The Wrestler.
He looks a lot older than he is.
Yeah, he's
been through the mill.
Either he's been punched in the face too many times or he's had too many plastic surgeries.
I'll take the honors, Josh. I'll say 77.
67.
Whoa. Right in the middle. 73.
How about that?
What a day for
I was
birthdays.
spiritually closer, I feel like.
Well, mathematically, I think I got you. All right, last check of traffic. Is Brendan still stuck out? No, Brendan's here now. Anybody still stuck out there on the roads?
Well, there are so many stories to be told, and you can grab a book off of the shelves at the St. Louis County Library. But books, that's just one of the many things you'll find at the St. Louis County Library. You can actually check out the Library of Things. We're talking about fishing poles and telescopes and even fort-making kits. It is so cool what they have. Then maybe go even further into the future at the Teen Creative Lab. Explore, create, and innovate at the Object Computing Creative Lab. This is especially for teens where their ideas can come to life. The space includes a 3D printer, a recording studio, a green screen wall, a video game room, and Mac computers that are already loaded with the Adobe suite of software. So you just sit down and start creating. You can learn more about everything that's going on at the St. Louis County Library at slcl.org.
Be part of the moment as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra returns home to Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Conducted by music director Stefan Deneve, opening weekend fanfare for Powell Hall opens a monumental season with a trio of fanfares celebrating the past, present, and future, and featuring Grammy Award winner soprano Joyce DiDonato, September 26th, 27th, and 28th. Tickets at slso.org.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Across Missouri, designated child care providers are introducing children to a variety of fun and free activities through the Missouri Move Smart program. With this program, providers create environments where children and caregivers are physically active and healthy as they learn, work, and play. Parents, ask your child care provider about their participation in Move Smart. Child care providers, boost the health and well-being of the children in your care by becoming a Move Smart recognized program. Sign up at health.mo.gov/MoveSmart.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, I got a couple of randoms before we get out of here. Like I said, Heidi's going to be back tomorrow sharing stories of the Indiana Fever game that she went to. It's funny, I was just in Indianapolis. She's going there. She was at Notre Dame, which is in Indiana, on Saturday.
Come on. The stories are not going to be about basketball.
Yeah, they're going to be about Winona Judd singing the national anthem tonight. Here's a weird one that you should Google, not in your car, but when you get to a safe spot. There's one volcano in the world that doesn't have red or orange lava. The lava from the Kawah Ijen volcano in Indonesia is bright blue.
Get out.
This is really weird looking. And like I said,
Google I wonder what the metal is that it's been melted.
I'll try to look it up tonight, but we're out of time. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Heidi will be back tomorrow. It'll be the three of us again. Thanks, Connor, for running the board. Thank you, Bob Ramsey. Thanks to all the listeners, Captain Paul Kopsky and Brennan Weesey and everybody else. We'll see you tomorrow.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC. Member